You know, he's been under pressure this whole season between him, Jazari, and young Haley Place. They're all, you know, riding very well and riding very strong, putting in some stellar rides, you know, for these guys. You just to figure that these guys are just 11 years old.
Yeah, it's awesome to see the intensity and the skill that these guys have at the age that they're at. It's very, very encouraging to know that these are going to be the riders of next year, and the year after is going to be in our 125 class and our 600 class, and whenever they move up as well. So it's going to be even more exciting as it goes on.
That's right. I said these guys are definitely the one to watch. Our youngest rider out there is the number 45 blue bike of Jazari Caisey. He just turned 11 years old. Shay Darrell, 13 years old. Haley Place, 13. The other riders are street legal racers. And the flag is dropped and they're off. Down to turn one they go. Looks like Jazari and Shay are off to a rocket start, but who's going to get into turn one first? It looks like Jazari Caisey pulls off the hole shot. He's trying to get his head down, put some real estate between himself, Shay Darrell, and that rocket scooter rider of Kenneth Desilva on that wet and raw racing machine. Into turn two they go. See, so I stand to be corrected. Young Haley Place is 11 years old as well, and she's our little female rider out there today. So these young kids are really, really putting it to our older riders and showing them that you might be older, but we are more aggressive, and we're not afraid to take the fight to you. But back to the front. Jazari Caisey, Kenneth Desilva putting a move on young Shay Darrell. Ricardo Wade sitting back in fourth place with Shaquille Godfrey and Haley Place having a battle of their own. We've seen these two in race 1 and 2 battle back and forth, with Haley getting one, Shaquille getting the other one. But on the front straightaway they come. It's Jazari Caisey, Kenneth Desilva on that super scooter, Shay Darrell, Ricardo Wade, Shaquille Godfrey, and Haley Place. Onto the back section of back straight they go. Jazari Caisey looks to extend his lead. That super scooter of Kenneth Desilva is really performing well today, folks. You won't believe it, that bike is a 70C. The rest of these bikes are 154 strokes and 80cc 2 strokes. But that 70cc scooter is hopped right up. It's making just as much power. Scooter's a former scooter racer. What do you think about the performance of Kenny's bike?
It's really nice to see scooters back out again. I just wish we can get some more out. And just get the class back growing again. It's one of my favorites to ride in as well as watch, because it was always really intense racing. So it's great to see Kenny out. I want to see Janico back out again as well. So hopefully he's down there. I know he's here. Let's get him back out on track.
That's right. We would like to see young Janico place, one of our Carifta athletes who went to France himself and Bruce Grilla Jr., but back on track. We've got the race action heating up at the front as young Kenneth Desilva has extended his lead and pulled away from young Shay Darrell, and so the sights after Jazari Caisey, who's the current race leader, and that number 45 Pizza Sponsor Machine. Let's see these two. Kenneth Desilva won race 2, but Jazari was charging and closing down fast. Let's see if Caisey is going to be able to hold him off and take the race win in our last heat race of today. But it looks like that super scooter's got some marvelous cornering speed as he pulls right to the back wheel of young Jazari Caisey. As young Caisey's holding some very defensive and tight lines as they run the last hairpin turn. Get the bikes tipped over, start accelerating down to the front straightaway. They stay tight. Kenny's trying to stay down low. Stay in the draft of young Jazari Caisey as they go down into turn 1. They tip it in. Still Caisey out front. Kenneth Desilva in close and hot pursuit. Down the back straightaway they come. Caisey's tucked down low. He's a very little rider, so he's very aerodynamic right now. Young Kenny's a bigger rider, so he's got a bit more wind resistance, which is allowing him to pull away slightly. But into the infield section, as these tires get up to temperature, they get more sticky. We should see Jazari start to get more comfortable, but Kenny's a veteran racer, 2-time champion in the scooter class. He knows that bike. He knows how to get it to work. He's seeing right on the rear wheel of young Caisey. He looks up the inside and trying to make it work. Caisey shuts the door on him. Caisey's in the inside for this next turn. Let's see what Desilva is going to have in store for him. As young Shay Darrell has come under intense pressure from Shaquille Godfrey, who is checked on young Haley Place. Well, young Ricardo Wade is trying to make a move, and it's Godfrey to the inside of Darrell. Darrell still on the outside. Godfrey on top of the rumble strips. Made some move on Darrell as they come to the front. Straight away. Darrell used the power of that 4-stroke machine to power himself across that Godfrey into turn 1. Godfrey makes a little bit of a mistake, has a little bubble. Which allows Darrell to pull out on him. As you see the power of that 4-stroke machine as he accelerates and leaves Godfrey in his dust. Let's see if Godfrey can make some time back up. But Godfrey's got to watch himself because Ricardo Wade on that number 20 super scooter is closing in fast. And Godfrey pulls up right into the back wheel of young Shea Darrell. As they come into the infield section, Godfrey is riding all over him as the battle is for a battle for first place, a battle for third place. Godfrey looks, and Godfrey pulls a stellar move underneath Darrell. He takes the inside, but he can't get the drive and make it stick. I think Godfrey better keep that one in his back pocket and see if when he really needs it. But it looks like he bobbles again. But it's a large Ricky Wade to close right up on him as a three-way battle for third place. It's a battle for third place. You can throw a blanket all over all of them. They're tipping into turn one. Godfrey takes the long way around Darrell. Darrell fights back, shuts the door on him, and accelerates that four-stroke machine down into turn two. And we still got this close battle up front between Josiah Caisey and Kenneth Desilva on that 70cc super scooter. Josiah can't seem to get any distance between himself. He's really pushing hard. You're looking at an 11-year-old and a 17-year-old, I believe, battling toe-to-toe. And onto the front straight away they come. Sorry, Caisey out front. Kenneth Desilva wet and wild racing in second. And it looks like Godfrey has finally got past Darrell as Darrell's is slipping back into the clutches of Ricardo Wade. Godfrey hanging down low, trying to stay as small as possible to put some distance on himself. And young Shea Darrell, let's see if young Ricardo Wade can make up some distance and get himself past Shea Darrell, or Shea Darrell can fight back and take that position back away from Shaquille Godfrey. Into the infield section of turns we go. Kenneth Desilva is riding the wheels off that super scooter as he's right on the back tire of young Josiah Caisey. Caisey knows it's there. He's holding some very tight defensive lines, trying not to give him any real estate, but it looks like he left the door open too long, but he slams it shut, and Kenny can't make it stick. They accelerate coming out our last turn, onto the front straightaway. Young Caisey gets the power on that four-stroke machine, tries to accelerate and pull out on young Kenneth Desilva as they tip it into turn one. It's still young Caisey out front, being hounded by Kenneth Desilva on that 70cc super scooter. We see the power of that four-stroke machine as he pulls away from him down the back straightaway. But the Desilva bike is very good underneath the brakes as he closes right back on him, right back down on him as they play this game of cat and mouse as these laps are winding down. We got Godfrey still in third place, being hounded by Darrell and Ricardo Wade in that super scooter. So keep your eye on them as Shea Darrell makes up some real estate on him. But back to the front, we see Kenneth Desilva trying the inside, trying the outside, trying to find his way around young Josiah Caisey. But this young kid is riding some very good lines and making it very difficult for our champion Kenneth Desilva as he looks to the inside and pulls alongside of him as he's pushing that bike, trying to get some more speed of it. But Josiah gets the power on early, and he still remains in first place as they head into turn one, heading on our long back straightaway. 880 feet, and they accelerate and look at the bike, the power of that bike as he pulls away from Kenneth Desilva. But watch Desilva close to get back up as he gets down on the brakes. And they go to the infield section of turns, they go. It's still Caisey out front, Desilva in second, Godfrey third, Darrell fourth, Wade fifth place, sixth place. In the carousel sections, Caisey, he maintains his tight lines, still maintains about a half a bike lead over Desilva. Desilva tries to take that bike as deep as he can on the gas, deep on the brakes. Caisey gets the power on. We're coming up to the end, closing stage of this race. As the lefts are winding down, these two are pushing very hard, but pushing very hard as well. It's young Godfrey holding down third place and keeping Shea Darrell and Ricardo Wade at bay. But these guys are charging and coming hard for him. Oh, it looks like Godfrey has a problem, which allows Darrell to get back in front and takes up a third. What's going on? Just as quickly as he got it, as quickly as he lost it. Looks like Godfrey needs to regroup and come again if he wants to take that place back from young Shea Darrell, who looks to be rejuvenated as he has a gift handed to him and takes up a third place. And we see our leaders, Kenneth Desilva going very wide, trying to keep the throttle on to make up some time and real estate on Josiah Caisey as they come around our last section of turns. And it looks like our start official is holding the white flag, signaling one lap left in this race. Who's it going to be? We got Caisey leading. Kenneth Desilva hounding him down since the drop of the green flag. We got Seg holding down third, coming under intense pressure from Godfrey, who's going to be coming under intense pressure from Ricardo Wade if he doesn't keep his head straight. But back to the front is our leaders, 45 Caisey, 144 Desilva as they enter the infield section of turns. Who's it going to be? Caisey tries to hold a tight line, not trying to give him any type of inclination of trying to slip up the inside of him. He takes a slightly wider line, gets the powered on. Kenneth Desilva tries to slip up the inside, but Caisey shuts the door on him, takes the inside line. Will Desilva try to slip underneath, but he can't. Looks like Caisey has got the jump on him. They can make it run this last turn. He gets the powered on. Kenneth's in the draft. Can't make it stick, weaving and wobbling. It's young Caisey with the race victory and the win in race 3 this afternoon. Now still on track, we got a battle brewing. 51, number 4, Godfrey, Darryl. Godfrey running the outside of Darryl. Darryl gets that bike going. Who's it gonna be? Is Godfrey gonna pull that rabbit out of the head and try to take up the inside? It's Godfrey to the inside. Can he hold the line? Darryl fights back. Who's it gonna be? This one's gonna come right down to the wire. They're side by side, banging. It's Darryl. Young Darryl pulls off the feet and comes back in third place. Godfrey had a stellar run. He had it wrapped up, made one mistake. Darryl got back in front, made the ground back up, put it on can right down to the last turn on the final lap, looking at the checkered flag. Darryl pulls it off, takes the final step of the podium. Well done to these young riders. Well done, Kenneth Desilva, young Caisey, Darryl, Godfrey. These guys put on a stellar and an epic ride for everyone today. Don't forget our little female rider out there, Haley Place, who's putting it on week in and week out, showing these guys that girl power rules and girls can do it too. Well done, let's give these guys a round of applause for putting on an epic ride for us all this afternoon. I don't know about you, Koa, but I think I was on my tiptoes for that last lap.
And that was pretty exciting to watch both battles for first place and for third. It's nice to see the scooter with the 150, as well as just to see Darryl under pressure from Godfrey. Nice to see Shaquille back on track.